trip to Vancouver, British Columbia began with a bus trip from Victoria to Nanaimo, where we boarded a BC ferry boat across the Strait of Georgia. According to the schedules, this is a 2-hour trip, and while we were on board, we had a good lunch and enjoyed our journey. We did not see any orca, which people often do, and we got a good view of Gabriella Island, which you can see in the video here. Arriving in North Vancouver, we took the underground into the city center where we checked into our hotel. Next day, we began our tour of the city with particular interest in its architectural history. Here is a plaque on the front of the Marine Building, which, when it was completed in 1930, was the tallest building in the entire British Empire. Here are videos taken from the window of our tour bus, which I think demonstrate quite well the high-rise characteristic of the city. The downtown area was also quite vertical, as you can see from this video. We were quite impressed by the cleanliness of the city. And here is a photo of 3 of the gentlemen responsible for that. They go about the city picking up litter. Next, we visited the Central Public Library, which externally is designed to resemble the Colosseum in Rome. Internally, it is unique. I have seen nothing like it anywhere else. Later that day, we had lunch on the patio of the Museum of Art. We, of course, also visited Stanley Park, which is known worldwide for its size and its beauty. Stanley Park was designed by the same architect who designed Central Park in New York City. And since there were no squirrels native to this area, he imported squirrels from New York. Stanley Park squirrels and New York City squirrels are therefore distant relatives. The following day, we crossed over to West Vancouver across the bay from the city to Grouse Mountain, which in the winter is a ski resort and in the summer is just a wonderful place to be to take in the views. We could see the freighters coming out of the port of Vancouver heading into the Pacific. These are wood carvings memorializing the pioneers of British Columbia. There was a lumberjack show in progress when we arrived at the top of Grouse Mountain.
It's rocky out there. Oh, I say what? All right, he's okay. Give him a hand.
Our last morning in Vancouver, we took ourselves and our luggage to Canada Place, which is the terminal for the Princess Cruise Line's ship, the Island Princess, which would take us on to Anchorage, Alaska, with stops along the way. This gentleman was attending a First Nations convention being held in Vancouver at that time. Here are 2 photos of our ship. one taken at some distance, docked at Canada Place, and the other taken on board. Our ship departed promptly as scheduled at 4:30 p.m., so we were able to watch the city receding into the distance before we moved into the dining room for a good dinner and good night.